Heather, before we get back to Iran, I want to see if I can get a little bit more of a detailed response from you guys on the whole spat between the Saudis and the Canadians. Do you have anything more to say than the rather milquetoast comment?
And what was the milquetoast comment that you believe we put out earlier?
Just that they're both close partners, and that you're going to refer any questions about this actual dispute to the two foreign ministers.
No, I have a little bit more for you on that. Thank you so much for asking. We've talked about this type of issue before. I think the last time we briefed, you and I addressed this very issue and concerns about Saudi Arabia. We have a regular dialogue with the government of Saudi Arabia on human rights and also other issues. This particular case regarding Canada, we have raised that with the government of Saudi Arabia. They're friends, they're partners, as is Canada as well. Both sides need to diplomatically resolve this together. We can't do it for them. They need to resolve it together. The United States has respect for international recognized freedoms and also individual liberty. That certainly has not changed. And that's basically where we stand today.
Right. But, I mean, Canada is more than just a close partner. It's actually your very, 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 very close neighbor, and it's also a NATO ally.
You're right.
You have treaty obligations with Canada. You don't, unless this administration has done something that I'm not aware of, don't have treaty obligations with Saudi Arabia. And I don't understand why. There's one country here that has imprisoned human rights activists, and another one is your immediate neighbor and a NATO ally, and I don't understand why you don't come down on the side of agreeing with the Canadians when it sounds as though, from what you're saying, your human rights dialogue with the Saudis, you do agree.
Matt, I can tell you that we have those conversations with the government of Saudi Arabia. We have had conversations with them about this as it pertains to Canada. But we would encourage both governments to work out their issues together. It's a diplomatic issue. Saudi Arabia and Canada can certainly stand to work it out together. We would encourage the government of Saudi Arabia overall to address and respect due process and also publicize information on some of its legal cases.
Do you think the Saudis overreacted to this?
Matt, I'm not going to characterize it. I could just tell you we have discussed it with the government of Saudi Arabia, and it's up for Saudi Arabia and the Canadians to work this matter out. Okay? Hi, Leslie. Hi.
Yesterday in the statement you said that the US had asked for additional information on several activists. Are they the same activists that Canada is raising an issue with?
I'm not sure which activists Canada is asking about in particular. I can just tell you we've asked the government of Saudi Arabia for additional information on several activists.
I believe it's the activists, the same one, the blogger and his wife.
Okay, I'm just not aware of which ones they in particular asked about. I can tell you that we have raised those cases with the government.
Have you received any information from the Saudis?
I think I'm going to be able, the information I just provided you is what I'm going to be able to provide you, nothing beyond that. Hi, Andrea.
Hi. Can I just ask one more follow-up on this?
Okay.
Sorry.
Then I'd like
a chance. You said you've raised the issue, though. Would you condemn the arrest of this activist?
Look, I'm not going to get into all of this. I know you want me to characterize all of these things. Some of these issues we choose to discuss privately with our friends, with our partners, with our allies. And so you want me here to say certain things. I can tell you, however, we have raised these issues, and I'll leave it at that. Okay?
Well, there was a Saudi general who's been quoted saying that what the Canadian call that upset them so much is evidence of Canada's support for international terrorism. Do you believe that?
I'm not going to comment on what this general allegedly said about someone. I don't have any information on that. I'm not going to comment on that. Andrea, go right ahead. What do you want to cover?